Yo, what's up guys? Today I'm going to show you how to do the challenge of exile in God of War 3 remastered. These challenges are fucking hard. They are way harder than the challenge of Olympus. This first one is actually pretty easy. It's called Old Birds. You want to kill 15 crows in the time limit given, but they give you way too much fucking time. The trick here is that you want to stay up off the ground. If you touch the ground, your counter resets to 0. But like I said, they give you way more than enough time so you can hit the ground multiple times and still kill 15. The strategy here is you want to grapple up to one of them and then just do the spin attack, and that'll kill a lot of them in one go. You can kill like up to 5 in one swing if you get in the middle with a big group of crows. So that's what you want to do. You want to just keep grappling from crow to crow, try and get in the middle of them where the majority of them are, and just do the spin move, and that'll kill a lot of them. Just keep grappling from one to the other, and you should get it on your first couple of attempts. That one's probably one of the easiest. This next one is a fucking bitch, let me tell you. Switchblades is hard as fuck. The gimmick here is that you have a time limit to kill 50 enemies, and every 30 seconds your weapon changes. So it's really fucking hard. What you want to do for this first half on the Blades of Exile is just mash the heavy attack button and aim for the big groups of enemies and aim for the ones that are already damaged. This first half you can kill up to about 15 enemies I think on the first weapon before you change. And when you change, what you want to do is focus on the enemies that are already injured, do the outlaw and square attack. That'll do a lot of damage to a lot of the surrounding enemies and throw them up in the air, and then do the outlaw triangle attack to attack enemies on a downward swing. So just keep doing that for the next 30 seconds and you should be pretty good. These minotaurs are a pain in the ass and they will stick around for a while. The claws of Hades are probably one of the most useless fucking weapons during this challenge because you don't have any magic or anything, and that's when the shield guys are going to spawn. So for the next 30 seconds you can't do shit to these shield guys because you need the Nemean heads to do it. What you're going to want to do is just mash the L1 triangle attack. That'll do a lot of damage to the surrounding enemies, but it's still pretty much that's useless until you get the Nemean lion heads. And once you get here, you want to have pretty much everybody except for the minotaurs and the shield guys dead because you do not have that much time left. Once you get to the Nemean lion heads, you're just going to want to mash the heavy attack button. That should kill all the minotaurs who are already pretty much damaged, and then the shield guys are pretty weak, so you're not going to have a lot of time left, but you should be able to do it. This one will take you multiple tries. It is hard as fuck, but once you get the hang of it, it'll be pretty easy. This next one is you just want to keep Pandora out of the fire. There is no time limit, but for every moment that you're not killing somebody, she gets closer to the fire. So what you're going to want to do is I would switch to the Nemean lion heads immediately and just plow through as many enemies as possible. Never not be killing somebody, because for every second that you're not killing somebody, she gets closer to the fire. So just keep mashing through people, just keep attacking, never not be attacking. All these enemies for the first half are pretty weak enemies, so you should be able to plow through most of them. Save all of your Spartan Rage until towards the end, when the Cyclopses start spawning. But just keep plowing through enemies. When these guys appear, if they start to go underground, you want to try and grab them out immediately because you can't attack them when they're underground. So, just make sure that you keep attacking everybody. You can go ahead and try and push people into the fire, because I'm pretty sure that's an instant kill. She's gonna get pretty close, but as long as she's not touching the fire, you should be good. As long as you're always attacking and always killing somebody, this one honestly shouldn't be that bad, but it might take you a few tries. The hardest part about this is staying alive, because there are a lot of enemies around, so you gotta make sure that you're not taking too much damage. You might not be focusing on your life bar, so just pay attention to that, make sure you're not taking too much damage, keep attacking. When the crows start to appear, try and take them out immediately, because they can be pretty annoying, so just grab them and rip off their wings. They're an instant kill if you just grab them. When the sirens appear, go ahead and try and grab them and break their backs, because that'll stun all the surrounding enemies, and that's a good way to get some easy kills. So just keep attacking. Go ahead and smash them. I don't know if you can kill them before you get to their second stage. Like I said, and grab the crows out of the air, throw them down, rip off their wings, because if you don't, they're going to be a pain in the ass, they're going to be annoying, they're going to keep dive bombing you. So just kill them as soon as you get the chance. All these enemies are pretty basic, kind of weak enemies for the first half, so it's not too difficult. Not until you get later, not until you kill a couple enemies, does it get kind of difficult. This one will probably take you a couple tries, but honestly, once you get the hang of it, once you start killing a lot of enemies, it shouldn't take you too long. Make sure that they don't go invisible. Make sure you keep an eye on the sirens. And if they do go invisible, you do have your head that you can flash them with, and make sure that you can hit them. Just keep plowing through as many enemies as possible, and if you get people down, go ahead and take them out immediately, because those are just easy kills. You don't have any magic here, so that makes it kind of difficult, but honestly, you don't need it. It's not that difficult. You're never going to be like overrun with enemies. You stay pretty decent amount of enemies on screen at a time. There's never too many. Like I said, say this is when you're going to want to use your Spartan Rage, is when the first Cyclops appears. Just use all of it on him. Make sure you kill him immediately, because he will be a pain in the ass if you don't kill him right away. After you kill him though, a second one will spawn, and you're going to run out of rage. So what I would do for this one is just keep your lion heads on, and just smash the heavy attack button. Just all you want to do is smash the triangle button, and that should kill him probably the fastest. Make sure that you evade his attacks. Like I said, keep an eye on your life bar. Just mash the heavy attack button. Don't worry about grabbing him. His death animation will take too long. Just kill him. And for her, just keep attacking and grab her and break her back, and that should be it. That one will take you a couple tries, but once you get the hang of it, it's not too bad. This next one is the easiest challenge in the whole game, I think. They give you way more than enough time. All you gotta do is kill all these hands. What I did is I used the spin move, and I just went around in a circle killing all these hands. They give you way more than enough time to kill them. So just keep spinning, going around in a circle, and you should kill all of them. You might have a couple left over, but like I said, you have more than enough time to run around and catch the ones that you missed. This next one is use protection. The hard part about this one is you have to break their shields without killing them. That's the hardest part, is because you accidentally just kill some people in the crossfire. So if you do, you fail. That's the end of the challenge. So what I did is I would just focus on the enemies with shields, break their shields, and as soon as their shields are broken, move on to the next group of enemies. You gotta pay attention to your time limit here though, because trying to evade the enemies without shields, you might run out of time a few times. So just focus on the enemies with shields. As soon as the shields break, move on to the next enemies. This might take you a couple of attempts, but as soon as you get the hang of not just mashing and actually timing out your attacks, it shouldn't be too difficult. This next one though is a fucking bitch. Let me tell you, this is going to take you multiple of attempts, mainly because of the time limit. You do not have enough time to kill as many chimeras as you have to. The point of this one is that for every chimera you kill, 2 more spawn, and you want to try and get 5 on screen at once. So this first one you should be able to do pretty good time. You should be able to kill it with at least like 216 seconds left if you're super fast, or maybe better if you're like faster than I am. But the first one's pretty easy. It's when you get to like 3 and 4 chimeras on screen at the same time that it gets really fucking difficult. What I did here is I just mashed my heavy attack all they give you here are your Blades of Exile and your Boots of Hermes. They don't give you your bow or anything like that. So I would just mash my heavy attack button. When you kill the first one and you get to 2, just focus on one. Don't worry about trying to kill both of them. Just focus on one of them. You will run out of time if you try and kill both of them at once. But you gotta still pay attention to the other one, because if he does attack you, it will cancel out your attacks, and that can be a pain in the ass. So make sure that you are evading one of them's attacks while attacking the other. That's why this is such a bitch, is because you gotta focus on so much at once, making sure that you're not getting hit, but still attacking one of them. These animations take so fucking long too. You can be mashing the circle button as fast as you can, and it's still gonna take you like 12 seconds to do that death animation. When he gets to the final stage, each chimera has 3 stages. When he gets to the final stage, you're going to want to make sure and focus on where he's at, because he will jump around a lot and try and evade your attacks. And also you got to make sure that you get out of his way, because as the final stage of the chimera, all of his attacks are not blockable. So pay attention to where he's at and make sure that you block his attacks. Make sure you can try and block all of the other chimera's attacks too. That's a good way to reflect them and do some extra damage and stay out of the way. Only focus on the one that's about to be dead. The other one is already damaged a lot and will be easy to kill once you already killed one. That's on his last stage. Same thing when you get it up here, is just focus on one, try and evade all the others. It's going to be a pain in the ass, because now you have double the people to evade, and you still have to focus on trying to kill one enemy. When he starts pulling these fireballs, I would just roll away, get out of the way, try and do your evade attack. But when he starts clawing at you, that's when you can get up and start attacking him, and you can block those attacks. This animation is going to take forever, but just smash through it. You want to have around my time, or better if you can, try and match my time. Just focus on the one that's already going to be dead, but still try and get him, because you still have one more to kill. After this, you're going to have to kill 4 chimeras in total, so getting them into their final stages is useful once you get up to 3 and 4. Because that'll save you a lot of time. Try and stay out of the way of the other chimeras, only focus on the ones that are already halfway to being dead. You can barrel through this animation as fast as possible. It's still going to take you about like 12 seconds to do it, so just focus on the ones that are already on their final stage. Their attacks are not blockable, so make sure to get out of their way, but pay attention to the ones that are already almost dead. Don't even worry about the one that's still on his first stage. Use your evade attack. That's a good way to get out of the way of attacks and still do some damage. This animation is faster, but it still takes fucking forever. After this time you only have one more to kill, and you just gotta focus on the one that's already almost dead, because you're not gonna have a lot of time. That one's going to take you forever, but you should get the hang of it after a while. You just kinda gotta get lucky and pay attention to your time. Alright, this next one is called Fear Itself, and let me tell you guys, fuck this challenge. It's honestly probably the hardest challenge in the entire game. The strategy here is to just stay away and keep firing your bow and arrow. At the beginning, the skeleton guys will spawn, and what you're going to want to do is pick them up and keep running at them. Pick them up, you can reuse them at least 3 or 4 times. Make sure that you get them before he does, because he will try and grab them and he will throw them at you. If he does, don't worry about it, because you can block it, but either way, it's better to just not even give him the chance to attack. There's about 3 skeletons, and you can use them at least 3 times each, so just get them as fast as you can. That's a good way to get some first time damage here at the beginning of this level, or at the beginning of this challenge. You're going to want to save your Spartan Rage until after the skeletons are dead, and then you're going to want to wait until he's down, because he can block your for Spartan attacks. So just wait until you hit him, wait until he's staggered to use your Spartan Rage, and that's when you want to get, that's the only time you're going to want to get up close and personal with him, is when you're in Spartan Rage mode, and you can do a lot of damage with your attacks. Try and attack him from the back because he will try and block these. When you use your Spartan Rage, I would just mash the heavy attack, just keep doing that, and this is where most of your damage is going to be done. Even though it's still like the beginning of the challenge, this is where you're going to do a lot of the damage. After it runs out, as soon as it runs out, I would get away and just start spamming him with your bow and arrow. This is going to be the whole challenge, is just trying to stay away from him and shooting him with your bow and arrow, and then blocking his reflection. That's why you got to be a master at blocking on this one. You got to know exactly when to block in order to reflect his attack, because you're gonna do that a lot. There's gonna be a lot of back and forth, because he can reflect your reflection and you can reflect his. So it's gonna be a lot of back and forth. If you're not good at that, I recommend practicing. When he's busy trying to reflect your attack, that's a good time to get in some extra shots. I would also, while you're waiting for your meter to recharge, you can do the evade attack, because he will run into it a lot of the time. But what you're going to want to do is just stay away from him. Like, one of his attacks will take out like half of your health. So just stay away from him. Don't even give him the chance to attack you. Just stay away and keep blocking. Also, make sure that when you reflect his block, that you're aiming towards him, because if not, then you're just going to be reflecting it to nowhere, and that's a waste of an attack. So make sure that you're pointed towards him, and just stay away. Don't let him get too close. That's why you want to do the evade attack, because that's a good way to get him away from you. You can try and do some charge attacks, but I don't know, they don't seem to do any extra damage, and they take too long. You don't want them to get that close, so I would just stick with the spamming as fast as you can. The hardest part about this is that they don't give you any other weapons. All you have is your blades of exile and this bow and arrow. They don't give you any magic, they don't give you nothing. So that's why you're just gonna want to stay away and spam the bow as fast as you can. Mash it, and then you don't regain anything. You don't regain Spartan Rage or nothing like that, so it's a one-time thing, so get a good use out of it. As he gets closer, the timing on the block is going to be different, so make sure you know when you're paying attention and you know exactly when to block. If you block too early, it won't register, and if you block too late, you're going to take damage, so just make sure you know exactly the right time to block. And like I said, make sure you're aiming towards him, or you're just going to fire off into nothing. Also, make sure that you're locked onto him when you use your bow and arrow, or else it won't register and you're just going to be firing off into nothing, and that's pointless. Even when you get the hang of this, it's probably going to take you a couple tries, and it's probably going to take you about 6 or so minutes on your final attempt. This is a long challenge because you're not doing a lot of damage here, and you're just gotta wear him out pretty much. Stay away from him, don't let him get too close to you, because his attacks will fucking hurt. Right there, he's only got me with one attack and I'm already half health. So just stay away from him, don't let him get near you, and just keep spamming him with the bow and arrow. That's the best strategy I can get. You can try and get up close to him and attack him, but personally that did not work for me. He just kicked my ass, so stay away and just keep spamming him. You gotta make sure that you know when he blocks you. You can hear it, it makes a sound. So just focus on that, pay attention. You gotta be all in when you do this challenge. You gotta focus entirely, all your senses, eyes, ears, everything, pay attention to it. When he's busy blocking you, that's a good time to get some extra shots in, but make sure you don't block too early or else it won't register. Also, go ahead and do the evade attack. Like I said, he'll run into it most of the time. Just don't let him get too close to you, because his attacks hurt. Go ahead and roll out of the way. Just make sure you're facing him when you actually reflect his attack. try and get him as much as possible while he's staggered. That's the best time. That's when you're gonna get the most hits in. If he's in the middle of an attack, you can hit him too. That's a good way to cancel out his attacks and also get some good shots in. Don't let him get too close, because like 2 of his attacks will kill you. Like that's all it takes is 2 attacks for you to be dead. Just make sure that you're always recharging your meter, because you need as much bow and arrow as you can get on this challenge. Stay away from him when he's staggered. That's when you're gonna get more shots in. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much it. Just keep away from him, keep shooting him with your bow and arrow, and it's gonna take you a while, but you'll get the hang of it eventually. Don't let him get too close, don't let him attack you. And that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys next time.